This episode of MMA Nuts is brought to you by GoDaddy.com. Get a $149.com with code MMA149. TiVo, get $50 off a Romeo DVR with code MMA. With Ben Silva, get 15% off your order with code MMA Nuts. Woo! Hey fans, it's MMA Nuts, episode 225.
225.
My name's Ingo Weigold.
Matt Griffith, MMA Show, by MMA fans, for MMA fans. We're walking the line between serious and ridiculous. What's going on? This is like the fastest start. I like how we just transition right in.
We were totally not talking about anything relevant, and then we just go right into it.
He's showing me like Rocky 4. First we going like the Top Gun highlight.
Oh yeah,
Rocky 4.
I'm on an 80s kick.
Fuck yeah.
I recently rewatched Pink Floyd The Wall. You ever watch that?
Once.
Okay. I never understood it until 2 nights ago. So
You medicated? Or I think
maybe.
you have to be.
Well, maybe that was the problem before, but now I get it. It
Okay.
makes a lot of sense. Interesting thing. But yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's wintertime. It's almost Christmas. It's exciting.
So exciting.
It's exciting to have Christmas as he drinks out of his kettlebell mug. I want to recommend something out of the gate because I'm very excited about this.
Recommendation!
I got turned on to a podcast and then turned out.
Nice. Turning them on and turning them out.
No, a friend of mine recommended this podcast called Serial. I was telling you about this. I don't know if it's your thing because you're not into the murder mystery kind of thing, but it's called Serial, like a serial killer. And it's brought to you by the guys who do This American Life, which I'm sure some of you have heard of before. It's from Chicago, which is why I'm like plugging it. But it's a week-by-week episode of like a real-life murder mystery. A guy's in jail, and they have all these clues and things, and they feel like maybe there was something with this case that's worth investigating. So I recommend check this out on iTunes, or if you want to go to their website, you can stream from them. But go to episode 1 and work your way forward because it's literally like 30, 40-minute clips where they take you through all the parts of this case, and there's interviews, and there's all kinds of, it's really well produced. I mean, it's amazing with the music, and it's kind of creepy at times, and you just kind of go, but it's really good. I urge you to check it out. So that's my recommendation of the week.
Nice.
Next week, I'll tell you to jerk off.
Yeah. That's my recommendation every day.
Yes.
You're not doing it once, you're doing it wrong.
Yes. So what's going on with you, Matt?
Maintaining.
Yes.
So here we go. Let's get into it. So last week you spawned some theory on me about Anderson Silva and the gays or something.
Oh Jesus! I knew that's what you were talking about. I was hoping you were not going to bring that up.
No, I'm going to bring it up because, he had that stare down with Chris Weidman where they got so close that they kissed. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah.
So I'm wondering if maybe he was a little turned on by said kiss. And
could be.
Now he's open to a little experimentation.
It's like,
to walk on a wild side.
It's kind of weird. It feels really good. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. My dick is super hard right now.
Yeah. Is that how that happens for most people?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a chance kiss.
You feel a tingle in your
Strangers in the night.
I don't know. It's just funny. Like I said to you, I think it was last week. Like, I never have these thoughts. So I never expect to have
never
these
kissed
thoughts.
another man on the lips.
Well, I have. Like in my culture, it's common to do that. So kind of a way to say hi or whatever. But that's neither. I'm not like worried about that. I'm just saying when I do that, it's not like, like you kiss a woman, you're like, I might want to fuck you later, But you kiss a guy, you're kind of like, hey, what's up? It's a different thing. Hard to explain. Anyways.
Move over a little bit.
He's like,
it's all good. So I'm just throwing that one out there.
Yes.
Now I've got a double conspiracy.
Yes.
Double conspiracy, Ingo.
Speaking of conspiracy, shall we talk about this nonsense of the interview movie being shut down
talk about this?
by North Korea? I feel like we got to bring this up.
Okay.
Given that I'm like, 0.001% Korean, maybe.
We'll find out in a couple weeks, right?
Yes, exactly. Did you get your results yet?
No,
me neither.
We did genetic testing. We're waiting for
yes,
results.
for 23andMe. I got a notice that says they received my sample, and it would take 4,000 to 18,000 weeks to get.
Should I put jizz in there too? They give them a little extra something.
Oh, I thought you the wrong fluids. My bad.
Just overflowing.
I'm surprised they don't ask for jizz. Why
I know.
Saliva. It's really weird.
Whatever.
Anyways.
It'll work out.
So My understanding is that some hackers from North Korea threatened Sony, and now they are not releasing this movie in theaters or on DVD, but you may or may not be able to stream this because supposedly Kim Jong-un is killed in this movie or something?
I don't know.
But you find that weird?
I can't believe this at all. I think this is total horseshit. Didn't we have Team Fortress America where they had a marionette having fucking gay sex and it was his father? And they weren't upset about that. And I think if North Korea is going to hack anything, it sure as shit isn't going to be Sony Pictures. It sure as shit isn't. Like, there's much more important
Sounds
things.
Sounds fishy, huh?
The whole thing sounds fishy.
Sounds crazy.
And they keep running promos and commercials for the movie, and here's what it is. It's a total conspiracy. The government's doing it.
I feel like
they're just trying to introduce a new cybersecurity bill.
We need to cue like the music. X-Files.
Yeah, I need some black helicopters. So I think it's all bullshit.
You think so?
I think it's our government. What?
It could be.
Say that.
It definitely would make sense because it's
awfully
either that
fishy.
or it's the greatest marketing ploy ever.
Could be that too.
Like I was saying before we started taping it, this movie could be terrible, and we're like, how are we gonna fix this?
This movie is trending very low right now. We need to create some hype.
Yes. And they might have went overboard. Like
Maybe
some
a little bit
intern
too
was
much
like went overzealous, and they're like, oh no, how do we pull this back? I don't know. We just roll with it now. But so you're expecting some legislation to come through shortly?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
It's convenient that it's right around the holidays when people are preoccupied spending lots of money and doing whatever. And you slide that fucker in before the end of the year.
See, this transitions into my other double conspiracy,
Which is?
CM Punk.
Oh yeah. What about him?
Well, we mentioned him. I don't know if it was last.
Everybody,
week.
dude, Al Bundy wants to fight that guy. Did you see that?
Everybody wants to
Best.
fight him.
Love it.
So I'm almost wondering if, well, one, I don't think he's actually going to fight in the UFC. I think it's a marketing ploy on one front where you announce him, he gets out there, says he's going to fight. This is like a year ahead of him possibly fighting.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking late 2015. So, and then it also may be a cover because the UFC knew this lawsuit was going to happen. So how do you get them to stop talking about a lawsuit? Oh, you bring in this guy and put him out there. So
And Rampage.
yeah, and Rampage.
What's next? Brock Lesnar?
Well, let's talk about the Rampage then, since he's on the agenda. So he signs with the UFC, but apparently still under contract with Bellator.
Yeah, how's that possible?
He said he had some sort of clause in his contract where they could try to work things out if there were any issues for 45 days. If they couldn't work it out, then he can negate the contract. Apparently, he says he negates it.
I absolve myself of all contractual
In
obligations.
perpetuity, no more.
Oh,
So he's
must be
out. UFC signs him. So is this another thing where the UFC is just being desperate, trying to sign anybody because the numbers are down? Or is this more to just stick it to Bellator because he was one of their biggest stars?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, I forgot to bring my... Fuck. I meant to bring this. I did some research this week. There was a really good post on the Underground I read where a guy actually analyzed the pay-per-view numbers for the last 6 years. And literally, they are fucking in the shitter. Like, it's half of what it was 4 years ago. And there's some other good stats surrounding this.
Was there a theory behind why? Is it just the quality of cards, or
it's everything? And some guys on the thread were saying, well, of course the numbers are going to be down. It's in a transition year. You can't have high pay-per-view numbers and high like open, like the Fox deal, and you can't have it both ways. Like you're not going to get high pay-per-view numbers and a lot of like good cards that are free because there's not enough fighters and all this stuff. So they're trying to figure out where's the balance.
Yeah.
And I get that. I think that makes sense. But the thing that bothers me is that the pay-per-view numbers are so low.
It's terrible.
It's in a couple 100,000.
They released like the last 4, and I want to say there were some sub 200.
Yes.
And even the Hendricks Lawler card, I want to say was maybe high 3s.
Yep.
380 maybe max. Holy shit! Like on paper, that was a solid card.
It was.
One we actually bought. Cha-ching.
Yeah. Which it leads me to believe that maybe we might see a different model in 2015.
I don't know. So then the Rampage, do you think that was to boost pay-per-view or to hurt Bellator by taking one of their assets away?
I really don't think the UFC sees Bellator as a threat. I think it's more they're trying to pull in as much talent as they can to try to boost ratings and pay-per-view dollars because numbers are down. Like, they're down, way down. It's like, what the fuck is going on? They got a lawsuit. I think we had talked about on a few shows back that they have a note that for like $500 million that's due or something that they're trying to renegotiate, and they got a lot of interest they're paying on that shit.
Yeah.
So finances don't look very strong right now. And they got their rating was recently reduced by like the peep from like whatever plus.
Yeah, didn't they go to BBC level?
I don't know.
They were like double B.
Something a double B minus or something. I don't understand how that works, but basically, the guys who know about money are saying that this company is not a safe bet anymore as it was a few years ago. So there's a lot of weird shit going on. You had brought up, I think it was last show, about them potentially preparing for a buyout. Was that you?
Yes.
Yes, that was you. Yeah, I thought so. So there's a lot of weird things. I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on, but, it's to be seen. It's very strange and interesting.
It is. And we should talk about that lawsuit some more because, last week we just mentioned, like, we heard it was going to happen. We didn't get, like, the fighters and the details. So,
yeah.
Originally, the person behind all this, who was it? Who was the person behind it?
I forgot. Some guy.
Carlos Newton.
That's it, Carlos Newton.
They said he's the real whistleblower, but they wanted to have an active fighter.
Those guys piling on now, it seems like.
Yes, they wanted to have an active fighter who also was in the jurisdiction of where they're filing lawsuit. So that's why they selected Kung Lee as kind of the leader of this. So you have Kung Lee, John Fitch, of course, too. We kind of thought that one. And then Nate Quarry. And then you're also seeing all these other fighters.
Cody McKenzie's getting in the mix. I heard Mac Danzig's talking about like something.
Well, I think he was trying to promote the UFC, like "fuck you, Cody" and whatever.
Oh, really? Okay.
So there was some beef between them, and then Sean Shirk. So the details then. Here's what we got. UFC is pulling in $500 million in revenue per year.
Not bad.
Which they're stating out
enough to. Why don't they pay off their note?
Well, maybe that's not all profit, though.
Good point.
It says UFC fighters bear their own costs. UFC fighters typically pay out approximately 15 to 25% of their MMA earnings to cover the costs of gym memberships and management fees. Must pay the cost of any necessary sparring partners brought into the athlete's training camp in preparation for a bout. So 25% of your money is going to fucking shit. And then the UFC has been able to raise ticket and pay-per-view prices significantly above competitive levels as the UFC consolidated its market dominance through conduct alleged herein. Herein, Ingo. It says where the average ticket price for a major UFC event was $178 in 2005, it is now approximately $300.
Ouch.
Under Zuffa, the UFC also increased its price for pay-per-view fights from an average $28.91 per event, his first broadcast in 2001. You shouldn't even say that.
That's too far.
Yeah,
too long
to 2009, whatever. $54.95 now for fucking HD. I think we're paying $59 now.
All right.
$59.99. Something crazy.
It wasn't like a $5 or $10 more, right?
Yeah.
In the last couple of years.
So
10% increase, whatever you call it.
Yeah. The one thing that was interesting is that Tito Ortiz declined to be involved in this.
Yeah.
When I think he probably wants to come back to the UFC at one time or at some point. Seems like these guys all want to go out, test the water, but then they come back if they're on good terms. Arlovsky. Going to be champion again?
No. Don't see that happening. Well, plus Tito's got his own shit going on, so I wonder, does he really want to get involved?
Bank.
Yeah.
What? $300,000 for that last fight.
Why get yourself involved in some mess that?
Yeah, he doesn't need to be involved in this, but it's more like the veteran and also the this Reebok sponsorship shit. I still think these fighters are getting fucked. We're not going to see the details, but the way they've laid it out, it seems that the average fighter, or if you doled out all the money evenly, it would be $10,000 for each fighter. And that could be good if you're just coming in, but again, you talk about the veterans, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Joe Lozon. even to Brendan Schaub. that just happened.
Yeah. At the top 5 guys, I think will make lots of money. And outside of that, I think it's going to be tough, to make bank, especially now, because you can't pick up sponsors like outside of that. There's always going to be an off-the-wall sponsor who wants to get involved with someone who's exciting, or, like you said, a Joe Lozon, like someone who's going to be in the mix come fight night. Not necessarily in the rankings, but is going to be buzzing. People are going to be excited. That can't happen anymore. So what are you going to do? I don't know.
And the interesting thing is that this thing's going to take time, unfortunately, to work itself out. This is going to be years, instead of months.
Yeah. The lawyers don't want it to go because they get paid by the hour. They're going to drain everything out. The whole point of suing somebody isn't to win. It's to the lawyers love it. Just keep arguing.
Then they never do their job.
No. So it's going to be interesting.
It is. Hopefully good comes out of it. Hopefully fighters get paid more at the end of the day.
Sure.
And I think the biggest issue I have with all this is just giving up your likeness forever. Forever.
I think they do need a union. I don't know in what form or fashion, but something needs to happen where these guys have protection from, the powers that be, which happens to be Zuffa at this point. Who knows? Bellator could get big enough where you have the same problem. I mean, you got to have somebody looking out for their best.
Yeah, doesn't every other sport have some sort of association or a union looking out?
Yeah.
And
it goes both ways. It can help and it can hurt. NFL, NBA, baseball. I mean, there's all it's hard to say. What's gonna help, what's not. But you can't have one organization like it is right now running everything.
No, everything, and now they're. Your sponsorship's gone, so Daddy is in control of all your fucking money.
Yep.
You have no other avenues unless they're going to sponsor you outside of the octagon, which unless you're a GSP, a Honda Housey, a fucking Cain Velasquez, unless you're a fucking champion or a former champion, it's going to be very hard for you to make the money like you used to.
Yeah.
Should we move out of this subject?
Please.
Okay.
It's depressing me.
I know. I get fired up a little bit about that. I want to see all the guys get paid as much as possible.
Yeah. Whatever's fair.
Taking away that sponsorship money and their likeness kind of irritates me, and you're kind of forced into, and that's the other part of this, that a lot of the current UFC fighters aren't going to say shit because you don't want to jeopardize your position. So even though you may agree with some of their shit in this lawsuit, a lot of them are going to suppress how they actually feel until they get cut, and then their real feelings will come out.
Sure. But let me do this because to be fair,
Go ahead.
We're not really journalists, but I feel like
we totally are.
We have to at least consider this. Let me play devil's advocate here. And just, if you look at this from the UFC's perspective, okay, in the beginning they lost shit tons of money, millions of dollars, and we don't know the ins and outs of the finances of. Why is there this big loan? What's the reason? Where's this money going? How much interest are we talking about? So are they actually making all this money, or are they paying through the nose on all this other shit? Because if you look at corporate America, I mean, I don't see the UFC necessarily being so lean and mean that they're making boatloads of cash. So maybe there isn't a ton of money, and that's why the fighters aren't getting paid as much as they should, because there is a lot of backloaded debt that we don't know about. That's potentially the case as well.
Could be.
And that could come out. I'd like to see some numbers. I mean, I think, they're not publicly traded, are they?
No, I mean, they did sell that 10% stake to someone, wasn't it, in Dubai? Some group out there.
Yeah. Maybe they need to go public and reveal all the shit. Maybe
I think they want to hide their fucking revenue.
Well,
but
they're
that
a bunch
may be
of
something.
shysters and gangsters and whatever. So.
Well, look at these casinos. They have no unions in their casinos.
No.
Right?
I mean, what goes in the front door comes out the back door.
What?
$100 in the front.
I think it should go in the back door first.
So
and then if it comes out the front, good times.
But
hopefully, this lawsuit, I'm gonna guess that it's gonna get settled.
Sure.
Because I don't think the UFC wants to release any
finances.
No,
especially
and all that
shit's
going to have to come out.
Of course. And as an employee of a company, and as you're always going to feel like someone owes you more. Especially if you're in the business of putting your physical self on the line, you're always going to say, "Well, they didn't pay me enough." Okay.
True.
So,
well, I want to say this too. When we looked at some salaries, I think Bellator. I don't know what event it was, but there was some other. It might have been the Tito Bonner one, or something else.
There's some ridiculous
but
money.
there were some guys getting paid like 2 and 2.
Yeah, sure.
There's something fucking crazy. If you have Viacom money, fuck off. Everyone should be in double-digit pay. Period.
Yeah.
Period. I mean,
yeah.
It's just.
We probably need
the shit out of
we need an accountant or somebody to lay out the finances and say, listen, here's the bottom line. Like, this is what's going on. Like, this is why this happens. There must be a reason. I mean, sure. I don't know. I mean, the other problem is you got the Dana out there gambling millions of dollars. It doesn't exactly look good when he's out there like blowing $6 million on fucking poker or whatever he plays, blackjack, and then these guys are scraping together pennies.
Right.
So,
like, motherfucker,
I mean,
he only owns like, I don't know, 9 or 10%.
Yeah.
But still, that's enough for him to be fucking gambling. Like, I don't have to worry about money ever.
Yeah. Well, unless it all goes belly up. That's a whole different story.
I mean, we don't want to see that happen, but
no.
We just want to see everybody get along and fighters be able to make as much money as possible and not have daddy in control of every aspect of how you can make income.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's tough. It's a struggle. I feel like, you know, what it was when I started watching it and what it is now is so different. It's hard. It's hard for me to stomach because I really loved what it was 5 years ago, and right now I'm struggling to like really get on. They're no longer like that little engine that could. You know, now they're the big bad wolf kind of in a sense.
And you're losing the individuality
yes.
of, you know, each guy's going to come in with whatever sponsors. Like, oh, what is this? Dude wipes. Fucking Condom Depot. Thank you.
Awesome.
Hey, what is all this? The gun store or whatever.
The gun store. That's all gone.
And all these unique fight shorts and all the crazy different styles, designs, and you know, now Reebok's gonna come in and we'll see what that looks like. It remains to be seen. So let's move right along. Let's get on that. So Rory MacDonald not getting the next title shot at welterweight, even though he was told he was going to get it.
Why not?
Sounds like they want to make Hendricks versus Lawler 3, because you know Ingo, they love their 2s, they love their 3s,
rubber match.
Their 4s.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
I mean, it's fine.
That happens.
It's fine, but I would have liked to see.
He was promised the title shot.
Well, he's
let's go.
fucking Canadian, so you know.
Fuck that guy. Fuck him in the title fight in Canada's.
Yeah. Go stab yourself with a knife.
Here's your poutine.
Right through your hand. Yeah, it's unfortunate. You knew this was coming. I mean, come on.
I thought he would get it. I think he should get the title shot. I don't want to see Hendricks Lawler 3.
Both fights were super close. This is like, you know, so close it's hard to call both times. And I thought Hendricks won both, but, you know, they got to do it again. I just don't see it. You know, is it going to be different? I don't know.
Is it going to be the same fight? I mean, I thought the second fight would be different than the first because you have 100% Hendricks. But I think Hendricks is kind of suffering from the GSP mentality of he's changing his style of fighting because now you're title fighting and you're going 5 rounds, so he's trying to figure out the pacing, he's trying to figure out the strategy, and he's not the same fighter now as he was before he had the belt.
Right.
He was just going out there and fucking
lose.
Blitzing people.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the belt. He doesn't want to lose the belt.
Right. But you still need to be dynamic, and the way he fought the last fight was not the dynamic Johnny Hendricks that we saw prior to him winning the belt.
No.
Even the fight against GSP, which I still think he won.
I think.
Like, look how GSP walked out of that fight. A little bit of brain damage.
Light.
A little bit of aliens.
Thus, aliens.
I'm just saying. So, you're okay with Hendricks Lawler 3?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever. I don't know.
All right. Moving right along. Cris Cyborg, there you go.
It's been a while since we've talked about it.
Fighting at 135.
Really?
She gave up before it even starts. Says she's only going to fight at 145 or a catch weight now.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
Fine with me.
Is she Bellator bound?
Well, does Bellator have a very strong women's division?
I don't even know if they have any.
Do they have one?
I don't think so.
I don't know.
Maybe they're going to start one. 145.
I think they should bring her into the UFC and start the 145 division. Why not? That should go.
I'm okay for that. I think we need heavier weights. Especially in women's. At least, I know I joke about a 165, but why not do a 145?
Gabby Garcia. You know, you could actually make that fight. Gabby Garcia versus Cyborg. It could be huge.
I'm in for that. Can Garcia make it? I mean, she looked like she's off the
She
sauce.
cut way down, yeah.
I mean, she was bigger than Vanderlei Silva. Like, good Lord, how much juice are you on, woman?
A lot.
That's not safe.
She
Your
leaned
dick,
up.
bigger than mine.
Yes. No, people will watch that. I don't know
yeah.
about striking-wise, but if this shit hits the ground, that's scary shit.
Yeah.
That chick is dangerous. Oh
Yeah, that's no joke. But I think, wasn't a lot of her game, though, you're so much bigger than all these other women. You can muscle shit.
Sure.
I mean, in the gi, maybe it doesn't play as much as a factor as
But
no gi.
I mean, it matters.
But still, strength is an equalizer.
It is.
Like anal.
It's an equalizer?
Yes.
Okay.
Moving right along. Machida, I don't even know what event just happened. We had this UFC in Brazil.
Yeah, and you know, one thing I forgot to tell you, because you said at some point they cut to like UFC 173 for a while.
Did
they? It was really confusing. Like I was watching like Kenan Barrar versus TJ Dillashaw, and then like Cormier was on with, I don't know what the fuck happened with the broadcast.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, huh? What am I watching? I don't understand what's going on. Like, and then all of a sudden it went back, and I'm confused. But yes, you want to talk about the main event?
Yeah, well, I fell asleep because Barral was fighting Mitch Gagnon.
Gagnon, the Frenchman.
Yes.
The Canadian.
And Barral did not look impressive.
No, but he won that fight. I mean, he got a few takedowns, and I still think he's never been taken down or something in the UFC. I think he has some sort of 100% takedown defense record. Only one. I think John Jones is the only guy who's like in the high 90s.
Yeah, because he was never taken down until he fought Alexander Gustafsson.
Correct. He was taken down twice, wasn't he?
Something
like that. Yeah. So, Barral wins via arm triangle, I believe. Yeah. Choked the guy out, unconscious. But that wasn't so exciting as the Machida fight, which...
What was the stat? So, Machida fights Dollaway. Machida is ranked like 2 or 3, Dollaway 10. Mm-hmm. And they go to Brazil, go to fight, and then what's the stat you gave?
Well, it's the 100th time somebody has lost in the UFC without landing a single strike.
Did he at least throw one?
I think he threw some, but I don't think he landed anything. So,
oh no! Why even train then?
I don't know. I mean, I gotta say, on the message boards there was the CB Dollaway lovers who are like, he's gonna destroy Machida, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, like you guys forget, Machida's very like technical, and he's extremely smart and
fast at 185.
Fast as fuck, and he's elusive. Remember how elusive he is?
Yes, the elusiveness is back.
Yeah, and he was just kind of playing that game in the first round. And Dollaway had the right approach. He was staying away from the power, but I mean,
it's like a minute and change.
It didn't take long. That kick was brutal, dude. It was
liver
brutal.
Kick.
Yeah, it was like a front / roundhouse kick, like right in the wheel. Oh, dude, that sound just.
It's done.
I can respect it. I mean, he took it like a man, but Machida was like, this is over. Here you go. Eat some of these.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat him in Brazil.
No.
In the main event. Come on.
I think he won 3 times now via knockout in the division since he dropped weight. I think 3, 2? I forgot.
I don't know.
He's finished a couple guys at least. I mean, pretty impressive. Machida looks better and better at this weight class. Very strong and fast and quick and just, I'm impressed. I got to say.
Do you think he can win a title, though, at that weight class?
It's hard to say.
Yeah, I don't think he can do it if Weidman's there. If Weidman loses, maybe, but the question is,
did they fight? No.
Yeah.
They did?
Remember?
I can't remember.
Yeah. Weidman, Machida.
Yes.
That's the 4th and 5th round where Machida turned it around. The 5th round is where he really turned it on.
Yes.
Put the wood to him, so to say. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But next for Machida, what do you think? Rockhold has been talking some shit to him.
I was going to say, they have very interesting styles. I think that'd be a good matchup. Yes. Both pretty dynamic strikers, quick, athletic. Should be cool. That would be cool. I think Rockhold would go for that. So I like it.
I think Rockhold is calling him out on Twitter saying, nice win, let's fucking do this shit.
Okay.
I'd like to see that fight.
Sure. I'm in.
We move right along. Some Ass the Nuts being brought to you by Tire Buyer. You get 30 off of 400 plus with code MMA Nuts30.
What? $30 off?
That's right.
That's crazy.
1-800-Flowers.
Yes.
You can get some kind of percentage off.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
15% off with code MMAN15.
Yes.
If I'm wrong, it's right there.
Listen, don't send flowers on Valentine's Day or all this other bullshit. Do it randomly when there's no occasion. That will.
Does that win you big bucks?
That wins you big bucks.
You might even get anal.
Maybe. Flowers for no reason.
You play your cards right.
Flowers for no reason.
Win.
I will not do flowers on the major holidays. I refuse. But I will do it randomly with no reason, and it's always a big hit.
See? It all works out.
Yes.
Steve Powell.
Uh-oh.
Rampage back, is that a good idea? I think he's done enough now, in my opinion. Can't see him making it on another decent run. You think Rampage has any kind of run at 205 back in the UFC, or are we just going to see interesting fights for him?
Well, according to him, he said that he got his knees fixed, and he's been training much better. His last few camps have been really solid, and he feels excited again and refreshed and rejuvenated. But I feel like we've heard this a lot.
We hear it all the time.
So I'm not sure how to take it. I think his first fight back will be the tail of the tape, if you want to call it that. I don't know. I just always remember him in one of the primetime shows, like talking about how he runs a lot, and then I see him like jogging. You remember that?
It's like he was jogging to the Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, I was like,
gotta get
what
my
the
donuts.
fuck? This guy, I run
Gotta
faster
get my
than that.
donuts.
Like, you know? And I go, I don't know, this guy doesn't seem like he trains that hard. So, no disrespect.
You saying he's got the BJ Penn
I don't know.
program?
It just seems really strange to me. So, I maybe. I think 205 is a different landscape right now. He wants that John Jones fight. I think he wants that back.
No.
But
it's no good for him.
not right now, no.
Arian Malagazada. I can't pronounce
His
your
name's
name.
Arian?
Arian.
Sounds very fucking racist.
Arian.
Aryan Nation.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Would you guys consider a judging system which scores per minute per round? This could result in more detailed scoring overall instead of the current system. It says, by the way, Merry motherfucking Christmas to both of you and your families.
Thank you.
Right back at
Same
you.
to you. Merry Christmas.
So what do you think about a
minute by
scoring
minute.
system by minute?
So who won each minute, basically?
Yes.
That would be difficult. I think they have a hard enough time keeping track of rounds at this point. The minutes.
Like, what round is this? Does I even watch?
What minute are we in? I don't know.
One. I actually like that idea because you should have a clear winner per round. Because you think of how if you have a 5-minute round,
Then there has to be a winner.
right? And there always is an odd number of rounds when you're looking at 3 for normal fights, 5 for a main event or a title fight, and that's supposed to help with not having a draw and having a clear winner. Well, now you have the same thing round by round. I kind of like that. And I would like to see more detail, and I think we've talked about it before on the scorecards. I hate this bullshit 10-9, 10-8.
Mm-hmm.
Lay it out, motherfucker. Maybe even put how you got there.
Yep.
I mean, you're scoring a fucking fight. You should know, okay, this dude landed this many shots. This guy got takedowns. This is how I got to this guy winning this round. I think you need more information versus less.
Sure.
Because right now, it's just, you got to change something, and maybe that's a good place to start because you're not necessarily changing the overall system of how you score, but the detail of how you score.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I think more detail is good.
That'd be good.
Jason Lee, what's the latest on Cain Velasquez? We need more excitement in the heavyweight division. Well, seeing how he had surgery on his knee, I want to say at the end of October in this year, and I forget, one of the CLs, maybe an MCL, I just don't see him coming back. I'm going to say that's a 6-month time
he looked a little
off.
pudgy in the commercial with Rousey.
Sure it did.
Slightly
And you
pudgy.
see his pictures, his head's looking a little swollen. So late April, if you're lucky, is going to be my guess.
What's the countdown? I forgot he has a ticking timer, doesn't
March.
he? March. Okay.
He's going to lose his title. So here's what's going to happen. He's going to lose his title. And then, what do you have to do Brown versus Verdum again? Because that's Brown is there. I mean, it's Velasquez, Verdum, Brown.
Yeah.
I mean,
Overeem?
Overeem's like 11.
Come on.
He's not even ranked. There's another guy getting fucked by the Reebok system. By the
Yes.
way, but anyway. I don't think he's going to come back. I'd probably say 9 months, so April, May, June. I don't think he comes back until July, if he even comes back. A lot of knee injuries, a lot of knee surgeries.
Mm-hmm.
So, not anytime soon. Ryan Smith, it's Rockhold versus Here we go. Rockhold versus Machida does happen. Who deserves a title shot more? Winner of Jacare versus Romero, or winner of Rockhold versus Machida?
Ouch. That's tough.
You want to shot it?
I'd say Jacare for sure. Jacare versus... I think Jacare if he wins, or Machida... I don't think Romero deserves it yet.
No.
But out of the other three guys do.
Yeah.
So
I think Jacare if he wins, and Rockhold if he wins. And Machida, I don't think he should fight Weidman again for a while.
yeah.
It was
God,
a
I
close
forgot
fight,
they
but I
fought.
hate all these
About
2s and
that.
3s. I want to see new guys, and I don't want to, you're going to put Rockhold versus Machida. I hope Rockhold can beat him so you can get another. I want to see fresh people fighting fresh people.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Smith, are you a fan of the Brazilian ring card girls?
Well,
Yes.
das ist gut.
Yes. Just
Dr. Von Carter.
Do you like the ring girls thicker than a Snicker, or as skinny as fuck ones?
Yes.
Yes, thicker than a Snicker. Also, in your best GSP voice, Matt, can you say these things? My GSP voice
Yes,
is
you
the
can.
worst. How does he talk? Give me a little.
I am not impressed by your performance. That was bad.
I fuck your wife in the ass. Canadian bacon. Josh Koscheck is the gays. Leg kicks, Ingo leg kicks. My GSP is the worst.
You should practice.
Yeah, I don't work on that at all. Can you tell?
This guy, I see
Yes.
the aliens.
Normal.
Listen to the Rogan podcast. He's
Yeah.
in full
I'm
form.
about to work on that for 2015.
Okay.
Matt's GSP impression will be spot on. Spot on. Rodrigo Machado, last question. Says, Matt and Ingo, I want you guys to really think about this question. You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Would you let somebody fuck you in the ass for $1 million and maybe as an extra, a free night with any celebrity woman you guys want?
Would I do that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking no.
Oh my God. I'm thinking, how low will I go?
That's the question.
Fucking $1 million? Done.
To get
I'm
fucked
not
in the
proud.
ass?
I'm not proud.
He didn't mention specifics. Like,
Well, he didn't say it couldn't be a woman with a strap on. He didn't say any of that. I'm getting fucked in the ass. It's just a matter of how many dollars am I going to accept for said fucking.
Christ.
I'd probably even accept $10,000. I'm cheap. I got bills to pay.
Okay.
I got things to make happen. Plus, you get the upside of fucking any celebrity weapon.
Okay.
Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah. That
Take one for the team.
for me, it's like that's there, but I kind of feel like that would be a huge disappointment if that ever happened.
What? What's the disappointment? Getting fucking the ass or fucking the celebrity woman?
No, Jennifer Aniston. I think the whole thing is a disappointment. Come on, Brad Pitt was like, "See you later." There's got to be something wrong with that. Something's wrong. There's something wrong with that.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know.
We could choose a different one then.
Whatever.
I'm in. I'm in.
You getting
I'm not
fucked in the
afraid.
ass.
I'm
That's
like
taking it in the ass.
I'm like Anderson Silva, Ingo. I'm open.
Maybe you don't even know. You could be gay.
I could be.
Who knows?
Maybe I like it.
Maybe later in life.
Maybe
you
I
could be gay.
turn. Maybe at 42
Turning
you
heel.
turn. The world turns. How old is Anderson Silva? He's up there, late 30s.
38, I think.
See? Maybe you hit 38.
Okay.
You're gonna
I'm
turn.
not there yet, so maybe I
You're
gotta
gonna
wait a
turn.
Yeah.
We better move right along. It gets any gayer.
while. Dig out of this hole.
It gets any gayer. Knowledge. So I saw this video the other day, or some guy. He's going off with like some fucking spinning kicks on one of them kick machines, and I don't know how hard he hit the machine.
Oh yeah, I think I know what you're
But,
gonna show me. I saw
If
this.
I can full screen this motherfucker, and
Yes, I saw
he's
this
doing
one.
like,
It's crazy,
I'm
man.
like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Wham, motherfucker! And then this one was like, the accuracy is ridiculous. They should have showed. He probably only hit it 500, but
yeah,
pretty
it doesn't
fucking
matter. It's just
impressive.
it looks like some kung fu shit, like in the movies.
Because you saw Pat Barry like teeing off on one of those, and I don't know, he was hitting in the 900s.
Mhm.
I always wanted to just try to kick one of those ones, but like, I'd probably split my pants if I could get a kick. If it was a leg kick machine, ooh,
Yeah, all good.
Whack. Yes.
I like it. How many views does that video have?
Oh, let's see. It was as high. 913,000 as of right now. So by tomorrow, you're probably looking at 1.2 million by the time this is released.
Yes, and then the actual news will be reporting on this a week from now.
Right.
Because they're always like way behind. My wife and I watch like Good Morning America all the time. She's like, "Oh, this is crazy." I'm like, "Yeah, I saw this like 10 days ago." Fucking.
That's like, you might as well read a fucking newspaper at that point. Are those things dead yet? Newspapers? I heard a lot of these companies were laying off. I don't know if it was the New York Times. But
really?
A lot of companies. Well, you have to. Like, print is
no
dead.
Money. Yeah.
Print is dead.
Disco is dead.
I don't know about that. Disco's still alive. Saw Howard the Duck. He was in what movie that we just watched?
Howard the Duck.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
movie.
was it good?
Kate, my daughter, she's old now, 9. Her and I watched that the other night.
For kids, you think it's good?
At 9, that's a good movie.
I think my son's too young.
Because
I'm waiting for him to like get into that Star Wars wheelhouse. I think 7 is a good, like 7, 8-ish. Fucking hit that, man.
Yes.
I can't wait. But, yeah, I heard that movie was good. I haven't seen it.
Good story. Good movie. Ready for a number 2. It's all good. That's it. Let's shut it down. Move right along.
That's been this week's edition of MMA Nuts. We want to wish you and your family a very Merry Christmas or Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever the fuck you celebrate. It doesn't matter. Just be well. My name's
Be nice. Donate. Have fun. Matt Griffith.
Donate your sperm.
Yes. Thanks for playing.
Bye-bye.